Well, you can say everyone is scared of something, but is there something that scares absolutely everyone?
Boo. No.
Okay, a little bit.
And do we maybe enjoy that scare or scaring?
Yeah. So I chatted with Michael Stevens, who not only is from Stillwell, but he also created and hosts the YouTube series Minefield. His latest in-depth special is called What's the Scariest Thing? So Michael, good morning to you. Of course, giving you all the love this morning since you are from Overland Park.
That's right, yeah. Stillwell, Kansas. Hello, Stillwell.
Okay, so, let's talk about your series. What made you create this special in-depth episode dealing with fear?
Well, I love being scared, right? I love horror movies. I forced my wife to watch them with me, and we've still been able to stay together, which is great. But I wanted to know, why do we like being scared? And is there such a thing as the scariest thing possible? It sounds like that's going to be subjective. Everyone feels differently about what scares them. But I was like, what if they don't? So I worked with Caltech and plenty of other neuroscientists, and I think there legitimately is an answer to that question. There is something that is objectively the scariest thing.
How do you actually use science or maybe some of the research to find out the psychology behind fear?
Well, we're still learning a lot about fear. We're still learning about its origins, how fears are learned and how they develop in our brains. And we're still learning a lot about what's going on in the brains of people who aren't scared of certain things. There are people who don't have an amygdala, which is a part of the brain, who don't feel scares. They don't get scared by jump scares. They're not scared of snakes or being attacked by things.
Wow.
Why? There's still a lot to learn, but so far I think we've been able to piece together enough to learn what's the scariest thing, but also help people who want to overcome fears.
Okay, and in this special episode of Minefield, how do you actually look at and determine what most people are afraid of?
So what we do is we speak to experts, and I make myself a bit of a guinea pig.
Oh.
I get strapped into a chair, and a doctor from Caltech conditions me to generate a new fear. And not just like a fear of, something scary, a fear of a purple triangle. That's it. And it works. And it was terrifying, but it was worth it for science.
Okay, and what was your actual biggest fear when you were going through this process?
My biggest fear was being restrained. Because of my claustrophobia, I don't like being tied down. But I had to be tied down to this chair to be trained to be afraid of the geometric shape. And I was like, all right, the shape is kind of spooky since I'm being electrocuted I'm being shocked when it shows up. But I just don't like being strapped in.
Right, I don't know anyone who really would.
No, but some people would find it thrilling, right? There are people who love roller coasters and kind of seek adventure that way. But to find what's really going to scare everyone, regardless of how old they are, regardless of where they're from, regardless of their neurology, we got to look somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think you can catch this on Vsauce1 on YouTube, as well as his own channel and the YouTube Learning channel. So
see, he's already off my radar, talking about people like to be scared. Nah.
Apparently some people do.
I can go with that.
We'll find
but no,
out.
we'll check it out. All right.